Hey there, welcome back to Axocraft, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a saddle-like tensile structure. So we've already got our points here, which will be our only two guiding elements. To start off, let's get ourselves a couple of points, and let's quickly assign them, one to each component. Get ourselves a line, connect that to generate the line. We need a midpoint here. And we also need a plane normal. Let's bring it into there and let's use our line here as a guidance for the z-axis. Okay, let's settle this up into a group. And now for the next group, we're going to need a move. And we're going to need to use the z-axis, and for the sake of simplicity, 100. And here we want to connect our midpoint in order to bring it up right there. Okay, now we want to rotate that same midpoint. In this case, we want to use our plane here for the plane of the rotation. And here, if you right click on the angle, we can bring in degrees. And I'm going to get a 90-degree first. And then let's bring this up to about 45. And now we can, of course, group this as well. And we can also copy this. Let's bring it down to here. And now instead of rotating the middle point, we want to rotate each one of our 2 points here, like that. We also want to bring these values down because we're going to need them down here. And now we also want to separate them. So let's add in a dispatch. Let's connect it and then add it into the group. Now for the next group, we're going to need ourselves a merge. And here we want to make this we want to set this up in the proper order. So I'm going to start off with the A, bring in the midpoint here, and now the last one into there. We can remove that. And after merge, we want to get ourselves an interpolate so we can set up our curve. In this case, an arc-like form. Also, we want to mirror this to the other side. So we place in our geometry, and as for here, we want to get ourselves an extrude. Let's connect it into there. And in this case, we want to bring in our line, and let's add in just the z-axis, which should be enough. There we go. Now we've got both of them there. And in the end, we can just add in a loft. Gonna put it into there and also add in this one as well. All right. We can also group these up, add in a scale. Let's get ourselves a midpoint again. And in this case, we want it to be also the midpoint of our line back here. Let's bring it over to there. And let's add in our loft. Perfect. Let's also, we also want to be able to change the factors. So I'm going to bring this value in so that we can then adjust the factor like so, depending on how far we wish to stretch it. Next up, we want to get ourselves a surface, actually a mesh surface. So we can now convert our smaller loft into a mesh surface. I'm going to add in about 30 for the U and the V, and we can now close this into a group. Next up, we want to set up a divide curve, and in here we want to get in both our curves. Make sure you press the shift when joining them in together. And now to keep the relationship between the number of divisions here and the number of the divisions here, I would advise to get a division. Let's connect that into there. Let's bring in our count here. And now to here, I'm just going to add in a small slider of 4 to make sure that there's a relationship between these two. Next up, let's get ourselves some naked vertices. Let's connect our mesh into there. And now, in order for us to connect these naked edges to these points here, we need to get ourselves a closest point. let's connect our naked points into the cloud input, and then our points here into the points up here. And now let's get in our Kangaroo elements. So I'm going to start off with the anchor. I'm going to pre-set up the strength here, so go into expression, add in 1 and commit. And in this case, you want to get yourself the points here, and now you want these points to be the targets. Let's get ourselves a show. Bring in the mesh for the show there. And last but not least, we need some edge lengths for the stretch effect. Let's get our mesh into there. For the factor, gonna add in about 1000. You can then change this later. And now let's connect them to our solver. Let's get ourselves a bouncy solver. Let's connect all of these guys in there, like that. We can already see something here, but before that, I'm gonna go into the button component. Let's connect it into there so that we can always reset this, and of course add in a Boolean toggle down here. Let's set that to true, and here let's get ourselves a geometry to bring in everything together. So now if I select everything, we now have our finished mesh here. And now as you can see, if I try to move this, it will always adapt accordingly. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Please like and subscribe. Comment if you have any doubts, and I will see you back here next time.